You know I love cheap and affordable RC cars here on my channel, so when Banggood asked me if I'd like to review a new 1/18 scale monster truck, of course I said yes. Now I think this is a collaboration between two companies I've never heard of, The Link and SCY I think it is. This is the hardcore 18, fully assembled. It's game time. Now apparently this is made of engineering nylon. It can strengthen the high-speed car's capacity in anti-collision and beat resistance. I don't think any of that makes any sense. But look, apparently it's a 1/18 scale all-terrain monster. I like how they've also put exactly the same on this bit as well. So here it is. This is a brand new 1/18 scale mini monster truck. And I actually think this thing looks a lot like the Big Rock 6S. Tell me I'm wrong. Go on. Tell me I'm wrong. So of course I think a lot of the inspiration come from the Armour Big Rock 6S, but of course this is much smaller because it's only 1/18 scale. So styling wise, well of course I love the Big Rock 6S, so naturally I'm going to like the styling on this. The metallic red colour on this looks really good. And I like that they haven't gone for some crazy colourful and loud colour scheme like you see on WL Toys cars. This is the sort of thing I would love to see WL Toys do. So this actually has some really cool details. Of course we've got the plastic front bumper at the front there. We've got plastic roof skids and of course a plastic rear cage on the back. This also has a plastic rear bumper. So let's get the body clips off and take a closer look underneath. Now the two front ones are quite easy to get to, but the two back ones are in a bit of a weird location. Getting those back on is going to be a real pain. So underneath everything is plastic, just as you would expect from a cheap little RC car like this. I do notice straight away that this does have friction shocks. Are they going to let the performance of this little truck down? Well, we're going to be finding out later. I'll show you the rear as well. So it is a little bit bouncy. It looks like the steering knuckles are made out of metal. This has plastic CVDs on the front, plastic dog bones on the rear. The battery tray's not too bad. This doesn't have any adjustability, only fixed links. Quality of the plastics, yeah, feels a little bit cheap. This has a plastic chassis, but it also has a metal skid plate which runs under the entire car. I do believe this has metal diffs and ball bearings throughout, and a metal centre drive shaft. The tyres feel surprisingly grippy. Now electronics wise, this has a 380 size brush motor with a heatsink, a 25 amp 2S only ESC, and that is a 2-in-1 ESC and receiver. Also down there we have a 5-wire servo. So let's take a look at what you get in the box. Now let's start with the battery. It comes with a 1500 milliamp hour lithium ion pack, your typical cheap RC car USB charger. In this bag we have the manual, a screwdriver, some shock preload spacers and some body clips. Finally moving on to the transmitter, and well,
brother, what's that?
This isn't very nice. It kind of looks like it's come straight out of a toy shop. You get a rubber grip on the wheel. It does have a channel 3 button, and I wonder if that's for the LED lights. Up on top we've got steering trim, steering dual rate, and of course the big start button there must be the on and off button. Yeah, this doesn't feel very nice. So it's now powered on. There's a very quick look at the LED lights. They actually look really cool on this. I know LED lights aren't for everyone, but sometimes they do work. So far then, this little 1/18 scale RC car is actually looking pretty decent. The only real issue I can see with this little truck is there are so many other good options out there now. It kind of makes justifying one of these really hard. And you may have heard of this brand before, but I certainly haven't, and trying to find parts for these things may be a bit more difficult. Compared to something from High Boxing or MJX, you're going to find parts everywhere. The next thing we need to do is see how fast it goes on the included battery, so let's do that now. Right, let's start the GPS and see how fast this little car goes. So is this going to hit the 40 km/h top speed that they said it would hit? At least that's what it says on the Banggood website. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be seeing 40 km/h. I'll stick the mile/h conversion on the screen now. That's full throttle. That's full throttle. They don't help themselves, you know, with the false speed claims. Just tell us the truth, tell us what we're getting. But again, that's been going on for ages. Full throttle. Surely they could have geared this up a little bit. This thing is slow. Right, let's bring it back, let's see what we got. So let's hit stop and read. we only got 12 miles per hour, which is about 19 kilometers per hour. So it only does half of what they state on the website. Yeah, not really a bad speed from a little RC car like this. It is only 1/18 scale. It does only have a little 390 brushed motor, so we have to be fair to it. The next thing we need to do is see how this little truck performs off-road. So of course, we're gonna head over to my favorite bashing location. So let's give this thing a very quick off-road test. Now immediately you do notice that it is down on power. That's full throttle. Even though this is down on power though, it does handle really well. There is more to an RC car than top speed. But these days cheap RC companies need to get the basics right. They need to give us oil-filled shocks out the box. I think most people would agree that they would be happy to pay a little bit more for a mild brushless system and not have to bother with a brush system. Even though this has friction shocks, it's not as bouncy as I thought it was going to be. So there we go then guys, not a bad little run from this little 1/18 scale truck. I did notice the friction shocks were a little bit bouncy, but of course that was to be expected. You know how I feel about friction shocks. I don't think they should be included on any RC cars these days. Oil-filled shocks just really aren't that much more expensive, and I can't understand why they keep doing this. Surely they can't be saving that much money. I don't know why, but look, I don't think we're going to see the end of this anytime soon. It's been going on for years, and I can almost guarantee it's going to continue in the future. Even though the friction shocks weren't that great, this little truck still performed pretty well off-road. One of the biggest limiting factors for this little truck is its size. It's only 1/18 scale, and again you can't really ask for too much. Now if I had £50 going spare, would I buy one of these, or would I save up just a little bit more and buy something else? Do you know what, as cool as this little truck is, I think I would actually save up a little bit more money and go for something a bit better. Now there are so many good budget RC cars out there to get you into the hobby. These days you really don't have to spend a huge amount. I think one of the best alternatives would be the absolute legendary Hiboxing 16889. That's currently on Banggood for just a little bit more money than the truck I featured today. I know some places at the moment are even selling the MJX Hypergo brushed for around the same price as this truck. Of course this is sent to me by Banggood, so I can't advertise any competitor websites, but there's nothing stopping you from doing your research and checking out some of the other sites out there. All I can say is there is a killer deal at the moment on the MJX Hypergos. So we're going to leave the video there today. I really hope you enjoyed seeing this little 1/18 scale truck in action. It actually turned out to be a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Of course the only real issue I have is parts availability. No one's really heard of this brand. You may have, but I certainly haven't. If you want something that's cool and small, yeah, of course go for this little truck. But if you want something that's larger, has better parts availability and upgrades, I would say go for the Hiboxing. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Cheers for watching, see you on the next one, take care. If you want to check out 2 really cool alternatives, click one of these videos now.